Good morning, everybody. Welcome back for installment of Scott Selections here for Friday, March 3rd. For in today's play of the day, quick recap what happened yesterday. We had a loss in basketball with Kawhi Leonard over 3.5 assists at minus 140 on DraftKings. He went over in 10 of his last 12. He went over in 7 straight against Golden State, and he played 32 minutes, and yet he had 0 assists. Golden State defended him the way that I thought they would. They were physical with him. They even ran some zone looks at him. Kawhi had the ball in his hands all the time. Unfortunately, he shot it a bunch and didn't really get his teammates involved as he had 0 assists. Kind of sums up how we've been running lately. I think we've lost, was it 5 in a row at this point? Maybe 6. It's been a horrible stretch. We'll look to get back on track here on Friday. And for today's play that going to pivot to hockey, we'll get a game between the Hurricanes and the Coyotes taking place at around 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And for this match, we're going to take the Hurricanes on the road, minus 1.5 goals at minus 125 on BetMGM. Time recording of 2 a.m. Eastern Time. Covering why we're going to take the Hurricanes in the spot. First reason, look at the recent form. The Hurricanes have been a much better team, as the Hurricanes have won 5 of their last 7, with 4 of those 5 wins coming by at least 3 goals. So they have had a fair share of blowout victories lately. Meanwhile, the Coyotes have struggled lately, as they have lost 3 of their last 4, and all 3 losses have been by multiple goals. And you're looking at the actual road record for Carolina. This team has been pretty good on the road this season, as Carolina is 18-11 straight up on the road. So I do think you'll end up seeing the Hurricanes look pretty comfortable in this hostile environment. Plus, go through the actual stats here. Carolina is the much better team, both offensively and defensively. It's really not close in either aspect. The Hurricanes are averaging 3.34 goals per game, which ranks 10th in the league. The Coyotes, though, are averaging just 2.67 goals per game, which is the 5th fewest per game in the league. And also, Carolina is allowing just 2.58 goals per game, which is tied for the 2nd fewest in the league. Meanwhile, the Coyotes are allowing 3.49 goals per game, which is the 9th most in the league. So you can infer from the differences, the large differences between the offense and the defenses, that Carolina is a very good hockey team and Arizona is not, and that definitely is true. To go through the standings here, Carolina is in first place in the Metro. However, they are only 1 point ahead of New Jersey. So this game's actually pretty meaningful for Carolina, and I think that motivation is going to be a serious concern for some teams in the second half or post-trade deadline, because of the fact that playoff spots are definitely going to be important. Getting home ice is important, and Carolina, as a result, should be motivated for this game against the bottom feeder. Meanwhile, Arizona is the opposite of that, because this team is horrible. They are currently in second to last place in the Central. They have nothing to play for. And you might see some teams in the Coyotes neighborhood in terms of points really, really blow it up by the trade deadline and end up basically tanking outright for the last couple of months. And Arizona's gotten a head start because they've already started to basically blow up the team. To go through some trades they made over the past couple of days, they traded away their best 2 defensemen, and they also traded away one of their starting forwards. To go through the trades, they traded away Jacob Chikrin, and they also traded away Shane Gostisbehere. Meanwhile, they also traded away one of their centers, Nick Bukestad. So I do think you'll end up seeing the Coyotes struggle, since they will be pretty shorthanded. And defensively, there's going to be a concern because this team was already bottom 10 in the league in goals allowed, and they're facing off against a very aggressive Carolina offense that gets a bunch of shots on net. And I think as a result, Arizona is going to really get outshot pretty handily in this game. Carolina's lost 2 straight games. The last one was against Vegas, who's a playoff team. They had a shocking loss against Anaheim at home a couple of days ago, as they ended up losing that one 3-2. But in that game, Carolina outshot Anaheim 53-16. And I think you'll see a pretty, I don't want to say similar shot disparity, but I definitely think Carolina is going to outshoot Arizona by at least 15 in this game. And I think with the amount of offensive pressure that the Hurricanes should be able to have against this potentially shorthanded defense, I think that Carolina could potentially score 5 or 6 goals in this game if some of the chances actually go in the net. But the point is, you're looking at Arizona. This team is not motivated, and with them trading away 3 of their better players, arguably 2 of their best players, I think it's definitely a sign that Arizona's waved the flag on the season. Meanwhile, Carolina really, really could use some points here, especially with the Devils breathing down their necks. I think Carolina opens up a decent lead early. I think they end up coasting, and I think they'll win this game by multiple goals. Play that once again here for Friday, March 3rd, is going to be on the Hurricanes minus 1.5 goals and minus 125 on BetMGM. Bye, everyone.